What is up, RC enthusiasts? Check it out, the Furitek Stinger for the TRX4m is installed on my Bronco right here. Check out that slow speed control. I do have the low range gears in here, so this is super slow. But I'll explain why I chose the setup I chose. I did try the regular gears, these ones, and I also tried adjusting some settings in the app. You know, I didn't go too deep into it, just a little of settings to see how different it would be. And as you guys can tell right there, look at that little motor spinning away right there, the slowest it can go. This is the slowest it can go with the low range gears on my transmitter. It's probably going to be different for other people for a different transmitter, but this is calibrated and everything. As you can tell, I have the cruise control button right there, 15% throttle, and that's the slowest that rig will crawl possibly with the low range gears. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's get into this guy, and let's see how the system looks in there, so we can get into the details on why I chose the settings I chose for this guy. Alright, let's check out my settings right here. I still haven't turned it off, as you can tell it's still on at 15%, still spinning around right there. Just, you know, a little ASMR for you guys right there watching that motor spin. But anyway, yeah, there we go. That's how my setup looks like. I have my motor wired up to my ESC, which is sitting on top of my receiver, and the Bluetooth module is sitting on the other side right here, as you can tell. And that's how everything's set up, all neatly back there, wired up all nicely. And you don't have to twist the wires on your, you know, brushless motor right here, but it does look pretty clean, and it shortens it just a little bit so it's not popping up as much. But other than that, the setup's pretty clean, doesn't add much weight compared to the stock ESC receiver combo that's back there. It's probably about the same, and all my weight is still transferred towards the front pretty well. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that's how my system looks like installed on there. Nothing fancy, but it's really cool. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'll get into some reasons why I chose the settings I chose and why I'm running it the way I'm running it with the low range gear. Alright, so when you get stuck in an obstacle like this, you can tell with the regular range gears or the stock gearing. Oh, you see that? I'm not sure if you guys can even see the brushless motor in there, bumping back and forth, back and forth. It's trying. Not enough torque to pull this forward. Can you guys hear that? And that's my problem with the Furitek system with the stock gearing. It is cogging really badly with that brushless motor. That's really low, but I noticed the motor does get hot with the stock gears if you just do crawling that slow the whole time. That's another reason why I like the low range gears better. It keeps the brushless motor temps in control. And that way you don't ruin your expensive brushless motor, you know, by overheating it all the time and lessening the strength of the magnets. But as you can tell, it crawls pretty nicely and really low. But when you start, oh, see, it's kind of jumpy with the speed. But when you start giving it some speed to crawl, you can tell there's the cogging. Don't mind the squeaky sounds, it's just the tires rubbing and stuff, and I am crawling on plastic. It's not bad, it's doable, it's crawlable, you could use it this way. Some people might not mind it this way because they won't crawl on any obstacles that are going to bind it up, so it'll be fine. But as you can tell, there is some cogging going on, and a little bit of jittering. Let's see if we can come from this direction. Oh man, don't hit my WPL, what's wrong with you? Dude, the transition there was pretty harsh. There's the jittering again. Like the jitter right there in that section of my obstacle. So it's not too bad, you know, it's still a slow crawl and stuff, but the smoothness with the low range on this, especially if you like crawling on this kind of stuff like I do, or you just like the slower crawling stuff, then you will like the low range. You can tell I put the stock tires back on here, but it's got the Defender rims or wheels. Here we go with the low range gears. A lot more slow speed control. Still fast enough for some bump up action too, but not too much wheel speed, but definitely you can trail walk with it now with the brushless system. But look how it does this section right here. With the stock gears, it likes to cog over here. But now with the low range, took the wrong line. There you go. Look at that. No cogging whatsoever. It's just smooth. Get yourself up that obstacle and ready for more. And then the transition to go faster, pretty smooth as well. Check that out. Oh, I high-centered myself here. Let's just get off the trail. Well, there you go. As you can see, it's very smooth. And this time it's even slower. Look how slow that is. And one benefit I found with this low range gears, with this brushless system, is the motor stays a lot cooler. You could literally run it as slow as you want like this the whole time. I could just put it on cruise control and just cruise this whole trail this slow, and the motor barely gets warm. Yeah, but with the regular gears, the brushless system does get a little warm, a little too warm for my liking. So I think the low range is my sweet spot with my settings. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the settings I did to the app to show you guys how I got it to crawl this smooth. And I think this is probably the best I can get right now with just the minimal tinkering I've done. Maybe I'll change the settings again later on in the future, but for now, I'm liking this setup, and I think I'm gonna leave it this way. Maybe waterproof it. There's the wheel speed right there. Still not bad. You can still get over obstacles if you need to. Look how fast it can still go. Oh. So when you open your Furitek app for the first time, you're going to open your Bluetooth and find your lizard. It's going to be like LIZ something 00, and then connect it to your Bluetooth. Don't forget to have your truck plugged in for this part. Now when you're back in the app, it should connect directly to your truck. If it doesn't, you press your little truck icon right there, and it should lead you to this screen right here. As you can tell right here, these are my settings. Check out the settings on this page, and then you can check my settings on this page. Go ahead and pause if you need a little time on these. Also, one little hack I like to do with this, I call it my little hack, is when I calibrate it, I put the transmitter endpoint adjustments to 100% forward and reverse throttle, and then I do the calibration. And when I'm done doing the calibration, if the transmitter you have is capable of it, set the endpoint adjustments to 120 each end, and notice that I get a smoother throttle response just from doing that. And on the next page right here, I'm going to be showing you the throttle curves. As you can see, I only changed the 50% throttle and the 60% throttle. I just moved them a little bit to make it feel a little smoother in transition from low speed to high speed. I moved the middle curve and the second to the top curve right there. You can just follow those two settings right there at the bottom. But that has made my truck way smoother to drive. Well, there you guys go, the TRX4m right there with the Furitek Brushless Stinger. And it's pretty cool. I actually do like it, especially with this setup right here. You know, it's not the perfect brushless system. It's not the end-all be-all of brushless systems. It obviously isn't the greatest with the regular range gears in here. There is a lot of cogging for me. And you can probably tune that out a little bit more with playing around with the app a little bit more. But to me, I think you can only go so far with tuning that out. It might still be annoying to me to drive it that way. And I think the smoothness with the low range gears and the settings I set up, the very minimal settings I've done on the app so far, have made this thing so smooth in transition from going faster to slow crawl. It's almost seamless now, so I think this setup is good enough for me. And like I said, when I did walk around with this thing, it can keep up with you while walking, but you know, you are full throttling it to do that. But definitely take that, having the better modulation and get that slow speed. And it has enough wheel speed for me to, you know, get over stuff and bump over stuff. That's enough on this truck right now with the settings for me. I don't really need this thing to be a speed monster or a bump monster. I don't want to break it consistently. Well, anyway, guys, yeah, that's it for this guy for today. Thanks for watching as usual, and as always, have fun out there, stay safe, and go run that RC.